America's Pulse Network welcomes you to the Pulse Podcast. Today we've got a packed show, from breaking news to informative topics that will keep you well informed. So, please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the APN's The Pulse Podcast talks about, then please share the Pulse with others. During this episode of The Pulse, the host looks forward to your comments. Tonight's APN's The Pulse Podcast starts now.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello. This is Alexandra Levine. I am your host tonight for America's Pulse Network, The Pulse. We are live, everybody. But unfortunately, we have some very unsettling breaking news coming out tonight. 48-year-old James Van Der Beek, he passed away. We'll show you the slide.
I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I want to know right now, what will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be yes or will it be sorry? So open up your morning light and say a little prayer for right. You know that if we are to stay alive and see the love in every eye.
So for those who don't remember who James Van Der Beek was, he was the main character in Dawson's Creek. That was the show that made him. That show also made Katie Holmes, Michelle Williams. Joshua Jackson was already known because he was on the Disney Channel doing the Mighty Ducks. But he touched every single one of those people's lives when he was on that show. Later on in his career, he ended up on Dancing with the Stars, and he actually did very well. I was hoping that he was going to win. And his wife was pregnant with baby number 6. She did have a miscarriage while he was on the show. And he had to do one of the most ferocious dances after, like a week after he found out that his wife had lost their 6th child. Well, when he was unfortunately voted off the show, he decided to go back into the ring and procreate with his wife again. And they ended up having that last child, that 6th child. And he is now survived by 6 children. James Van Der Beek was known for being a devout Christian. He loved Jesus Christ. He was also a conservative. He was a Trump supporter, even though he wasn't very political. But it was very sad when he revealed last year in December of 2024 that he was diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer. He felt something weird in his body. He said, I'm going to go get a colonoscopy. And he thought everything was going to be good. And then the doctor said to him, no, you have cancer. So after that, he took it upon himself to be an advocate for anyone that is experiencing stage 3 colon cancer. And unfortunately, he died last night at the age of 41. And he died in his sleep with his family nearby, his wife and 6 children. And it's been a struggle and a battle with him. But he will always be remembered as this innocent Dawson from Dawson's Creek. And this guy who was a devout Christian and loved his wife and loved his family. And we will continue to honor him. Unfortunately, this is the second young man that has died this week. The first one, as we know, was 47-year-old frontman Brad Arnold, who was the lead singer of Three Doors Down. He also died of cancer. He was battling rectal cancer as well. I mean, this is very sad that these guys so young passed away at stage 3, stage 4 cancer. And of course, our hearts go out to their families. We will memorialize them. We will continue to memorialize them. I encourage everyone to watch reruns of Dawson's Creek and to continue to listen to the music of Three Doors Down. As a reminder, Three Doors Down was the first band that said they were going to sing for President Trump at his first inauguration when other bands and other singers turned a blind eye or turned their head away from wanting to sing at the pre-inauguration or the inauguration in 2016. Another breaking news tonight, the House of Representatives had to go back in and pass the SAVE Act again. They passed it in April. Now they had to go back in tonight and pass it because President Trump has had enough of the Senate holding it and holding it and holding it. This is something that will help Americans. This will help with our elections, make it free and fair. The House of Representatives, they passed the SAVE Act. Now it goes to the United States Senate. We are hoping and praying that it passes in the Senate nuke the filibuster, as President Trump says. It is now the pressure for the Senate Majority Leader John Thune, as well as the head of the Senate, J.D. Vance, Vice President, to make sure that the SAVE Act is passed so that it goes straight to President Trump's desk so he can sign it into law. This has to do with procuring our elections. We are now finding out, and we'll get into segment one, the fraud that has been happening in our elections for years, not just in 2020, but years before that. It's very important, guys. It's very important that we get the SAVE Act passed and that the United States Senate does their job on this. And President Trump will be pushing hard to make sure that the Republicans that control the majority in the United States Senate get the job done. Now to my monologue, and it's going to be a short one. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining. Again, we are live. Please like and subscribe us at America's Pulse Network. We are currently live on Rumble, on Facebook, now on Spotify, on YouTube, on X, on True Social, on Parler, on Instagram, and many, many more. But tonight, like I said, we are focusing on the SAVE Act. We're focusing on free and fair elections. Our second segment will be focusing on the NFL versus the rest of America. Segment 3, we're going to focus on ICE versus illegal criminals. And segment 4, we're going to focus on Olympics underways. Well, as you can hear, we have a jam-packed show for you guys tonight. So let's introduce you to my other hosts and guests. My first host, actually, I didn't know you guys combined the two, but thank you, Damon Sherrod, for doing that. So first we have the hammer, Damon Galdo from the Jersey Shore, who's running for Congress in the 1st Congressional District in New Jersey. Woohoo! He also has strep throat, guys, so his voice is going to sound really low and sexy tonight, like very man-low. And, of course, we have our favorite Popeye the Sailor Man, Seth Eisenberg from the Conservative Corner. How you doing today? Another fellow man of the tribe. Woo! Very nice. Then we have our special guest. We always have her. She's awesome. She's amazing. Eleana Barbera from Florida. And thank you so much for coming on from the base mother.
Hello.
Are we going to talk about bananas tonight, Eleana, or oranges?
We'll see.
And we're also expecting another special guest, Justin Murphy. He's a recurring guest. He's running for the United States Senate. When he comes on live, we will bring him on. And also we have a special guest. I actually met this guy 6 years ago in Arizona at an event, and we actually reconnected recently. My friend Josh Bernstein, another member of the tribe from the Josh Bernstein Show. Thanks for coming on, Josh.
Great to be with you all tonight.
Awesome. Let's bring everybody on. So, guys, like I said, we have a jam-packed show tonight. So, as I said in my breaking news, the House of Representatives finally got their acts together, the Republicans, and passed the SAVE Act. Now it goes to the United States Senate. My question to you, Seth Eisenberg, do you think once it goes into the United States Senate, into the hands of the majority Republicans, that it's going to pass easily? What say you?
No.
And why?
Republicans don't have balls anymore. They want to get along, so they do whatever the masses tell them to. I mean, if that weren't the case, we're a year into Trump, things would be completely different. People would have been held accountable. People would be in jail. There'd be this going on. There'd be that going on. Nothing has happened. Nothing is going to happen because it's all about after-hours parties and getting your fucking 90-pound head in front of a camera for the newspapers. It's all that matters. They don't want to change anything. So, no, I don't think it'll go through easily. I won't be shocked if it doesn't go through. Because then they can bring it back up again in 6 months and cause a whole other hubbub with it and get everybody re-involved and fighting again. They don't want to make any changes, or they would have been changes made. It's that simple.
Eleana Barbera, what say you?
I completely agree. I have no faith in it. I don't think it's going to change. You know, Seth, you just said something, you know, they'll follow what the masses want. No, this is actually quite the opposite. Really? Something like 80% of Americans are on board. We were talking backstage a minute ago. Josh has got the numbers. We know that the American people are on board with voter ID, and they can keep telling us that it's racist and that married women are too stupid to figure out how to prove their citizenship. And those poor country folks who don't have a Kinko's, according to Kamala, they also are too stupid to get an ID in order to vote. Their arguments against it are absolute madness. And I think it behooves Republicans and Democrats to just keep things chaotic. And I think that's why we're not going to see it happen.
Well, Josh Bernstein, as you know, representative from Florida, Anna Paulina Luna, she's actually doing everything she can to push this. And she even said, I'm going to go through I'm going to do a FISA court, FICA, whatever I have to do to get this thing passed. What say you about that?
Well, there's a couple things. First and foremost, people ought to write down this phone number, 202-224-2321, 202-224-2321. That is to leader, in parentheses, John Thune's office. We need a massive pressure campaign here because this can pass in the Senate with enough outrage from the American people. Remember, 72 countries around the world have voter ID, but yet we're not one of them. The biggest, baddest country on earth, the superpower of the world, and we don't have voter ID. This is a bipartisan issue. This is not something that is, like I said before, a conservative issue or anything like that. 71% of Democrats agree with this. 83% of all Americans agree with this. 95% of all Republicans, I believe the number is probably 100%, but whatever, 95%. So this is something that the American people want. And I think President Trump needs to address this in the State of the Union. He needs to come out strong for this, and he needs to activate the 80 plus million Americans that voted for the type of change that we wanted in the 2024 election. Turn your supporters into activists and melt down their phones, reach them on social media. We can get this done. There's been many other times before where I've had things that seemed impossible, but with pressure campaigns, you'd be surprised. Self-preservation can certainly motivate a member of Congress. So that would be my hope on this.
Well, Damon, I want to turn to you about this in regards to signatures versus mail-in ballots. As you know, in the state of New Jersey, you need certain signatures to get on the ballot. Same thing with the state of Ohio and others. But what we're finding is that a lot of these Democrats and even people that work for the State Board of Elections, they find multiple different ways to lie and say that your signature is not verified or it's not valid for you to get on the ballot. Yet when it comes to mail-in ballots and we deal with signature verification, they don't care at that point. What say you about that?
No, that's a good point. And when you go and submit your petition in Trenton, so in New Jersey, they will go through it and they'll strike signatures if it's not your town or if there's a discrepancy of their zip code or whatever it may be, and they'll strike that off. But I just talked about this on Monday on my podcast with Elena was on, and I said it's either we the people or they the Democrats. What is it? Because the we the people, like Josh just said, it's basically combined 80-20 issue, probably more than that for voter ID. And so, but they'll allow people to go and sign an X, when in New Jersey, when you go and you sign and you vote, Elaine and I talked about this and we talked about the X part too. But my sister did a experiment. When you go, you'll see your signatures from prior elections and then she just signed an X instead of signing her name. And they were like, okay, go ahead and vote. And that was it. But when you submit your signatures for your petition to get on the ballot, then they'll sit there and scrutinize it and strike one thing off if you're missing one thing or another. So, yeah, it's a problem. And we need to pass the SAVE Act. We need to really push it through. I know it's going to be for federal elections. If it's more important, it's very important to me because I know, the Democrats cheat in New Jersey and I'm running for Congress. So,
Exactly. And the thing is that President Trump is trying to push the RNC convention to come earlier than the midterms, which is amazing because what this will do, hopefully with the SAVE Act being passed, is this will solidify a way to have free and fair elections. It also has to do with the redistricting that it's interesting. The rhinos in Indiana and even the rhinos in North Carolina, they decided they didn't want to have free and fair districts, in their state. It's just ridiculous. Indiana had an opportunity to expand their congressional seats. So did the state of North Carolina. But of course, the rhinos that are in control, they stopped that from completely happening. And that's ridiculous too. And what the SAVE Act will do is it will stop a lot of these rhinos from entering these very hardcore conservative MAGA districts. And that's what really needs to happen here. But my question to you, going back to, and I'll let you follow up, Damon, on this, is why do you think the Democrats and even the rhinos are pushing so hard on making sure that we don't have free and fair elections?
Well, because they want to cheat. That's as easy as that. That's why they want to stop deportation of all the illegal immigrants that came over the border. That's why we have federal judges that are blocking deportations and getting in the way of all this stuff, because it's well known. Everyone knows that they brought them in here for votes, and they don't want to get rid of them for that reason. And Trump actually he won. They didn't expect him to win, and now he has to undo everything they've done. And that's the major issue with the Democrats. They'll do anything. They're a soulless party. I'll tell you that right now. And listen, I both parties have problems, but the Democrats are a soulless party.
I agree with you. Turning to something that is really important, not getting a lot of attention. So there was a huge FBI raid in Fulton County, Georgia, because that had to do with the stealing of the election in Georgia in 2020. But of course, what we're finding out is that the FBI actually knew before the raid was going to happen, and they found out that there was actually whistleblowers and leakers that were leaking that an FBI raid was coming to the Georgia Board of Elections before it actually happened. Let's put up the clip Damon shared of what my friend William Newton wrote. So our friend William Newton, who Seth and I know very well. So he said, federal affidavit was just unsealed a few hours ago, February 10th, which was used to justify an FBI, quote, raid on Fulton County, Georgia's election hub on January 28th. He's read and reviewed some of the unsealed material, and as I know what language to look for, I don't need to see every detail. This is what's most telling. During a civil action in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia, Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections admitted it has not preserved the majority of ballot images from in-person voting for the November 3rd, 2020 original count. This is another impediment to ruling out non-criminal explanations for the activities during the election. That is pretty clear. The evidence is not complete or any longer available, meaning there's no way or a bridge that can be established to make the case because the evidence sought is inconclusive. And typically those records are not required to have been retained beyond the 22 to 24 month threshold that I've explained many times. Plenty of innuendo and conjecture should be expected, but nothing determinant to make a solid case. The 2020 election lawsuit ship has sailed. What say you about that, Josh Bernstein? Your comments.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, we obviously saw the fraud happen. We saw the suitcases being pulled out from underneath. We saw the fake water break, in Georgia and Fulton County and all that good stuff. But let's also not forget that they admitted that over 300,000 ballots were counted wrong. And so I think that this is part of the criminal conspiracy that they're working on with the 2020 election. And we're going to see what happens with that. But I will say this, clearly this was a situation in which these persons, these people in Georgia, and I'm talking about Kemp, I'm talking about Gabe Sterling, the Secretary of State, and Brad Raffensperger, they were not Republicans. They were part of an organization known as the Independent Republican Institute, the IRI. You can look it up yourselves. And what this was a globalist think tank group that was recruiting Democrats to run as Republicans. Now, fast forward all the way to today in North Carolina, we now have people admitting that they are a progressive radical leftist and they're running as a Republican in the primaries. Many years ago, I suggested about 2021 that we ought to have what are known as dinos, Democrats in name only, MAGA supporters, Republicans, American firsters running as Democrats, getting elected as Democrats, and then, of course, governing and voting as MAGA Republicans, just to stop the left from doing what they've been doing to us for so long. So, look, I think there's a lot of minutia around this. They said that they found the burn bags. We'll have to see what happens, but it could be part of a criminal conspiracy. My buddy Garland Favorito recently said that.
Mm-hmm. Seth, let me turn it to you. Our friend David Donald Willingen said FBI says there are 45 boxes of votes missing. What say you about all this?
I'm not shocked. I mean, if anybody thinks voter fraud has just happened in the last 10 years, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell. This has been going on forever. Republican, Democrat, they all cheat. These are what people don't understand. Is we're talking about politicians. They're one step above a used car salesman, and that's a small baby step. I don't trust none of them. They're more worried about their next election than they are about serving me or you. I think they spend 20% of their time actually doing their job, the other 80 raising funds for the next election. They don't care. They will tell you anything you want to hear. They'll tell you one thing and then go talk to Barbara and tell her something different, then go to Damon and tell him something completely different than that, and then come to me and contradict everything they just said if they think they can get a vote. Stop trusting these people. And the FBI, fuck them. They're just as corrupt as the mob. Why would you believe anything they had to say now? They got to earn back that trust, not just because, oh, we have Cash Patel now. I don't give a shit. Unless Jesus Christ is sitting as a director of the FBI now, I don't trust them. They've been lying to us for years. But now they're going to be honest? Now we need to trust them? You're crazy. You are crazy if you believe anything that comes out of D.C. No matter what it is, no matter who tells you, if you believe it, you're a sucker. Stop listening to the government. I can't stress that enough. If you want to know what's going on in this country, go talk to your neighbor. Go talk to your local politician. And I don't mean like state, county, I mean like town. Talk to your town politicians. Those are guys that are still on the ground, that still have full-time jobs and part-time their political career. That's who you talk to. Don't take anything out of D.C. as serious. It's a joke. It's all a joke. It's a game. And thank God people in this country are starting to wake up to that. They're starting to see what it is. It's a circus. It's a circus made to keep us in line. And when we start asking questions, they start doing things that make us fight each other. Start questioning everything else because they want to stay in control. And the way they stay in control is they make sure we're divided. Democrat, Republican, socialist, capitalist. Same side of two different sides of the same coin. And if you don't believe it, go to D.C., go to a hearing. When the hearing lets out, go to any bar downtown Georgetown. You'll see the same politicians that were just screaming and yelling at each other about how they're going to ruin the other person's life, laughing and drinking beers together. That's what they think of us, that we're just schmucks. We're marks. So I don't believe anything they say. I don't think anything is going to come of anything ever again until the people get pissed off enough and go, look, now you're going to answer to us. You're not going to answer other congressmen or other senators. You're going to answer to us. That's when things will change. We have the power. They don't. We've forgotten that. We need to start flexing our power. I'm done.
Eleana, I was going to say, did you have a chance to watch Pam Bondi's hearing today?
Some of it, yes.
Yeah. What was, I want to know your take on it. And it was funny to see some of the clips, with that stupid Congresswoman. I can't remember. I'm going to butcher her last name, I can't remember her last name. And then there was a Democrat lawmaker from North Carolina, and Pam Bondi's like, you're not even talking about the Ukrainian woman that was murdered, like, on your subway. Like, what the hell? Like, you're coming after me, and I'm, trying to protect your state with ICE, but yet you don't even mention the girl that was murdered on the subway.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm not about defending Pam Bondi right now. And I'll tell you this. She has given us such a runaround with the Epstein files, put us in circles. Oh, there's nothing in it. The whole binder nonsense, these redacted files, just the sloppiness of the whole thing, putting out victims' names, like redacting, protecting people. I have had it up to here. The whole world is run by pedophiles and criminals, and they have the opportunity to set the world straight, and they are not doing it. They are being protected. The Trump administration is protecting them, just like the Bidens did, and Obama before him, and the Bushes, and Epstein's been going for decades, and everybody has protected this guy and protected all the kings of industry and the kings of governments and the elites and the royals. And there are so many victims in their wake. We don't even know the half of it. And so Pam Bondi sitting there acting like, throwing out her talking points does nothing for me. And I don't blame her, because I honestly think she's just a pawn in the game. I don't think she has any real power here. She's just doing what she's been told.
Well, I have a question, a follow-up for you, Eleana. Do you think that she should have turned around to the victims today, like the Democratic Congresswoman said? And should she have said, I'm sorry, and apologized to the victims of Epstein that were there behind Pam Bondi today, in your opinion?
Apologize to them. I don't know. Just I don't know that she needs to apologize. Just start prosecuting people, Pam. Just do your damn job. We don't. Why? That's like the big question. Are you going to apologize for this or that? Everybody, shut up with the apologies, because no one's going to forgive each other anyway. Because we're all at each other's throats. Okay, let's let Jesus worry about the forgiveness and go out and prosecute the bad guys. Okay, that's what those victims need. They don't need an apology.
I love you.
Yeah, totally.
Wow. Well, that's why I wanted to ask you the question from woman to woman, because, Eleana, we know Pam Bondi. She was our Florida Attorney General, and we're seeing her in this
She did a
role
hell of a
as the
job in
United
Florida.
States Attorney General. I'm sorry, say that again, John.
She did a hell of a job in Florida. Look at her prosecution record. She was
had
excellent.
a different leader.
Yeah.
She had a different leader who wasn't trying to protect criminals. I love Donald Trump. I support him. I would vote for him every election for the rest of my life. I like a lot of what he's doing, but he is one of the many who are protecting the people that are just absolutely the worst of the worst, and we know it. That's how I see it.
Well, Damon, this goes to, President Trump endorsed a lot of incumbent Florida congressmen. Two, that a lot of MAGA people were very concerned about is that he re-endorsed Congressman Corey Mills. Corey Mills was the only congressman that voted not to censure Ilhan Omar. His wife has a lot of connections to the Somalis and to Iran. Also, he has stolen valor. He lied about getting a bronze medal, and he didn't. Lied about his military service. Also, he lied and said that he helped bring a lot of hostages out of Gaza, which we found out was not 100% true. So people are very concerned that President Trump endorsed him. A second person that people are very concerned that President Trump endorsed was Congresswoman Maria Salazar down in Miami-Dade County. She's a Hispanic woman, and she pushes and pushes for amnesty for illegals. And the funny, ironic thing is that the minute that President Trump re-endorsed her for Congress, she comes out and preaches again, amnesty for illegals. So what say you about, and a lot of people say it's not really Donald Trump that's endorsing, it's the people behind him that are kind of pushing him to endorse. Another theory is that there are people that aren't running against these incumbents, so that's why he endorses them. And also the third theory is that 90% of incumbents, they naturally win anyway, regardless of endorsement or not. That's a statistical fact. 90% of incumbents normally win re-election. So, and I say this to you, Damon, because you are running for Congress. What say you about all of these things that a lot of people are concerned about with certain re-endorsements that are happening?
Well, I'd like to get fired, Elena and Seth did, but my voice is real low, so I apologize to everybody out there with strep throat. But no, I just believe that I have to believe that he has an agenda. You look at how Donald Trump pulls people in. He pulled people in from the Democrat Party. You look at Tulsi Gabbard. You look at Kennedy and all that stuff.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. He has the tendency to do that, and maybe that's it. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't. If I would like to have a conversation with him and ask him that question, but I don't think I'm going to anytime soon. But he has the art of the deal. He figures out a way to manipulate different things. So even someone that's endorsing, that is promoting pathway to citizenship for illegals, maybe he is working with them. Say, hey, listen, well, we're not going to do that. But I will endorse you because you don't have an opponent or whatever, a strong opponent, and he's trying to win them over. I can't tell you exactly, but I'm hoping that that's what it is. So sorry for my voice. I apologize.
That's okay. What say you, Josh, about that?
Well, look, I'm not a big fan of Lindsey Grahamnesty, as I call him, but he endorsed Lindsey Graham, and everyone was all upset when he endorsed him for the Senate. And people were trying to figure out, well, why would he do that if he's a rhino? Well, it's pretty simple. He was the head of the Judiciary Committee. He needed to make sure that he could get his one big, beautiful bill over the line. So there are going to be certain circumstances where he's going to endorse people that we don't agree with. But I would point to the fact of the conservative scorecard. I think that's your Bible when it comes to whether or not a member of Congress is worthy of reelection. If they're running an 85 plus 90, 95, even 100% score, then sorry, that means that they vote 100% for the MAGA agenda. And I don't care what they do, quite frankly, because I want to win. I want to stay in power, and I want to keep these Democrats out of power as best we can. So I think we have to look at it from a wider scope and not so much of a smaller lens.
Well, we're going to end on that. We're actually going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with segment 2, NFL versus the rest of America. Stay with us, guys. We are live right now on the America's Pulse Network. Again, we are live on Rumble, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Facebook, on X, on Parler, True Social, TikTok. We're on all of them. And actually, what the beauty is that you can be on Rumble and YouTube and X all at the same time. So stay with us, guys. We'll be right back.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, Eleana, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution, because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
Well, everyone, we are back with the Pulse. I'm your host, Alexandra, on the America's Pulse Network. So leading into segment 2, so I haven't watched the NFL since the take the knee crap. So I didn't even know what teams were playing. I mean, I was a big New England Patriots fan when Tom Brady was a quarterback, regardless if you like Tom Brady or not, because I happened to be in Boston when he had won the Super Bowl for the New England Patriots the first time around. So we had 2 halftime shows going on. We had the Bad Bunny, which is the regular NFL halftime show. And I didn't even know who Bad Bunny was until, people started talking about him and so forth. And then, of course, we had the Turning Point USA halftime show, which was run and hosted by my friend, and I love Kid Rock. And that was a great halftime show. 10 million viewers watched the Turning Point USA halftime show, to the point that the Turning Point board with Erica Kirk have agreed to do it again next year, which is awesome. As you know, these people do not get paid to do the halftime shows, but the fact that Kid Rock made it about country and made it about God and did a beautiful tribute at the end to Charlie Kirk and his family was beautiful. But again, what did Bad Bunny do? What did he do? He had multiple different flags going on. Of course, he sang only in Spanish, which, NFL is about National Football League. It's an all-American sport. Majority of people watching this don't speak Spanish. The only person who sang at the halftime show was Lady Gaga. She was the only person that sang English. And in a way, I guess she came in to, quote, save the day because she was singing English. And of course, they had Ricky Martin there, who, Latina guy. He sung English for years, and then he out and became gay. So now he speaks Spanish now and only sings Spanish. So it's disgusting how the NFL has gone so far, how they've gone so far woke, how they've gone so liberal over the years, and how Roger Goodell, who's the NFL commissioner, could think that this was a good idea to bring this guy Bad Bunny in. So I want to lead with the first image for tonight. Damon, share. Let's put up the first image. So Laura Ingraham said it perfectly a couple nights ago. She said, Bad Bunny is an anti-American radical who canceled his U.S. shows because he's supposedly afraid of ICE. What a phony. Unless he's worried that his concerts attract illegal gang members or rapists. So this guy, I don't know if he's an American. I think he was born in America, but he's afraid of ICE. I guess maybe he's afraid of being deported, even though if he's an American, he wouldn't be deported. Maybe his family are illegals. I don't know. But he, for some reason, doesn't want to play in the United States. But yet he played for the NFL halftime show. So Josh, I turn this to you because one of the songs that Bad Bunny sang, and if people really sat and translated it, the words were very disgusting, very explicit. And very, if you're a young child listening to this and you got, your parents are there, they don't know what to do. And, what say you about this? I know we were talking earlier, you said there was a lot of violations that were committed and that maybe Bad Bunny should be arrested for committing some of these violations.
Absolutely. This was not a halftime show. This was multiple felonies taking place live on national television. U.S. Code 181464, the Safe Harbor Act, which basically states that you are not allowed to use profanity, drug references, paraphernalia, or anything like that from the hours of 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., of which this Super Bowl would have taken place during that time. Roger Goodell knew this. NBC knew this as well. And I'm sure Bad Bunny did. So what did they do here? Well, they did everything in Spanish on purpose, thinking and hoping, well, maybe they won't find out what we're actually going to be saying. Meanwhile, we now know that 13% of the American population speaks Spanish. We also know that about 90% of the entire population speaks English, and 78% of the entire population speaks English plus any other language. So clearly, this was a situation in which they were playing the odds. This was a Reconquista. This was a La Lecha. This was a Mexico and Spanish America is going to take over America, and we don't care what you say or what you do about it. That's what this was. So there are multiple crimes that were committed here, from indecency and many other things. So I think there needs to be a criminal investigation. Randy Fine, who took over Matt Gaetz's spot there in Congress in Florida, has initiated an investigation. Hopefully it's going to go to Brendan Carr, the FCC chairman. And I'm telling you right now, NBC should lose their license. Their license should be suspended. I mean, they're prostitutes anyway, right? That's what I call them. And so I think they ought to go after Roger Goodell. And the reason Roger Goodell is such a left-wing lunatic is because he's close to the Clintons. And he hired a guy by the name of Joe Brower, I think his name was, many years ago as his assistant. And that guy brought in all the left-leaning craziness and the kneeling and all the other BS that we see with the NFL, and it hasn't changed ever since. But interestingly enough, 50% of the entire Super Bowl audience left at halftime. Imagine that. They were disgusted as well.
Now, Eleana, there was actually a viral video going on.
1 second. I have to present John the Golden Hammer
Woo!
for that statement. It was great. You get the Golden Hammer. Award for
I
that.
love it. Oh, Seth, where's your sword? So funny. I love it.
Right here.
There we go. Woo! All right.
Look at that.
Nice.
So that's
like
it's a good thing if you get a golden hammer.
Yep, it's a good thing. It's a great
I'll
thing.
take it.
Yeah, we love you. But Eleana,
I've been here for a year and I've never gotten a golden hammer.
I know, I don't have anything. Oh my God.
Really? Oh boy, now I really feel special.
No, you guys can lift them up. I'm not being sexist, by the way.
No, you're fine. So Eleana, there's a viral video going on where there was actually a girl live at the halftime or at the Super Bowl, and she was actually on her phone watching the Turning Point USA halftime show. So, and there was a lot of people like that. So it's funny, you're literally at the Super Bowl, halftime show, Bad Bunny's coming on, but you decide to watch the Turning Point USA halftime show. What'd you say about that?
Well, I would say even if the Turning Point halftime show wasn't an option, that would have been a great time to go to the bathroom, go get a hot pretzel, do whatever. There were more videos of people just standing there looking kind of bored and like they were watching paint dry. I think people couldn't understand it. They weren't generally excited. It's not like Michael Jackson just walked up on stage and even though he looks like an ant a million miles away, you're still excited that he's there and you understand the music and you know. Most people don't know but Bad Bunny or his music. Again, they don't speak English. And I think that the people who are Spanish, people who were in the stadium were actually saved from the show. Now, I will admit I didn't watch the whole thing, but what I did see, there was an awful lot of vulgarity in the dancing and in the movements and the set. Well, I want to give them props where they deserve it. The set looked really nice, but everything they did on that set was vulgar and inappropriate for national television that is supposed to be a family-friendly show. Now, this has been happening year over year. It gets worse and worse and worse. So I'm not surprised, but I'm still disgusted every single year.
Damon shared, let's put up the second image, please. And I want Damon Galdo to comment on it. So, yeah, so the same thing. So, wow, Kid Rock and Turning Point USA have a super majority of respondents saying the All-American halftime show was better than Bad Bunny. Hollywood elites are shocked. Damon Galdo, do you think Hollywood elites are shocked?
I don't really think they're shocked. They think, their ass doesn't stink, and then they're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. They still they still put this stuff out there no matter what, and you'll see the ratings drop here and there. They'll get that, but I used to be one of the biggest football fans, Philadelphia Eagles fan, huge. I had 14 years. I had season tickets, and once they started kneeling and all that, I was saying, you know what, I'm done. You know, I used to go to away games. I'd fly to Chicago, fly to Jacksonville. I was a huge Eagles fan, and once that happened, I told my wife, I said, I'm giving up my Eagles season tickets. I'm not watching football anymore. And she's like, there's no way you're going to do that. And I said, watch. And I did. So I gave them up years ago. And watching that halftime show, I mean, it's just become, it's a debauchery pretty much. That's what it is. It's supposed to be a game, entertaining. It's not supposed to be a political statement. I'm tired of the political statements with football, with anything, even with the Olympics. You see that going on right now. It's like, no, I want to watch a sport because it's supposed to be entertainment. That's it. I don't want to hear what you have to say. Hollywood, same thing. You're not elected. Shut up. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I mean, I know we talk about politics here but we have a political show. I mean, that's what it's about. That's what
all political backgrounds too.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's like shut up. I don't want to hear you. You know, I don't want to hear your opinion. I want to watch something for entertainment. That's why you make what you make. And this Bad Bunny guy, you know, talks about that he really doesn't like the United States. And I know he's from Puerto Rico. I know didn't want to play in the United States, but he has all of his wealth because of the United States. He wouldn't be able to
understand that Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. He's a United States citizen. I don't think he understands that.
Yes, he's afraid of getting deported, but he wouldn't have the opportunity to be rich and famous and with the name Bad Bunny, by the way, unless he was in the United States. So, exactly. And then in the end, when I saw him, you know, I'll give it to him. He remembered all those countries that he rattled off. He must have memorized them for a while. But the only thing is, every flag that they were flying, every single one of them should have been American flags. They shouldn't have had a Canadian flag. You shouldn't have had a Mexican flag. You shouldn't have had any other flag, because it's fine that you name the countries, because a lot of people from other countries come here, live here, they assimilate, but they bring their culture with them, and it's fine. Bring your culture with you, and you have that. But everyone should be united under the American flag, and that's what we need to look at and push forward, because all those other countries, people that came here, they're all American. It's America first.
Exactly. Seth, I want to turn to you something. Of course, we can't have a Turning Point USA halftime show without, you know, controversy, of course, on the other side. So Kid Rock, who I actually met personally and really liked the guy, and I met his whole band years ago when I was a teenager. He started out with Ba with da Ba. I mean, he was a rocker. That was him before he branched off, and now he's like this all-American country guy. But Ba with da Ba, da bang a bang, diggy 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 said the boogies and jump the boogie was his song, and that's how he came out for Turning Point. It was awesome. I mean, I was like jamming to it. I'm like, yeah. But
you say it again.
Oh, I'll say it. Ba with the ba, da bang a bang, diggy 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 said the boogies and jump the boogie. Oh yeah, I love that song. Love it. Great song. And he screams, "My name is Kid Rock." And of course, you know, they said he was lip singing, because I guess he wasn't synced in, because when he said ba with da ba, he took off his coat and his voice, like the click of his recording was still going, but like he wasn't singing in the mic, so they accused him of lip singing. What people don't understand as a professional singer is that what he did is he pre-recorded the first part of when he came out on stage, and then when he went to the second half, then it was live, but he was live the whole time. It's just that first part was a pre-recording, but they accused him of lip singing, like it was the end of the world. That's what he did.
Who cares? Really? Who cares? I mean, I don't listen to any of that shit nowadays anyway. If it ain't Otis Redding or Marvin Gaye, I got nothing to do with it. I mean,
he did a video a couple of days ago with his producer, and the guy flew in from wherever he flew in from. And I don't know if you saw this video, it's on X, but Kid Rock literally did the entire Bang It, whatever that thing is, the whole thing. He did the whole thing live a cappella on X to prove that, hey, I don't need to lip sync this thing. I've been doing this since 1998 or whatever, how long it's been. So I just thought that was kind of like putting the hammer down, if you will, on it.
But the reason I asked
in that, I just add in that video, he did explain technically what happened. There was something to sync off with his monitor.
Yeah, the sync was off. Yeah. I mean, that happened with Mariah Carey during a Christmas show.
Ridiculous that he had to do that.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I bring up with Seth is because we talk about stupid people and stupid things. So the fact that this was even news, like they made a big thing about it, and that poor Kid Rock had to, go on Laura Ingraham to explain all of this was like the most ridiculous asinine thing ever.
You didn't have to. I wouldn't have explained myself. Nobody has to explain themselves. It's just the society we live in now. Everybody expects answers. Well, why did this happen? And everybody, let me explain to you. I wouldn't. I just said, you know what? You think what you want to think. I don't care. I really don't.
Beyond that, the fact that we talk about this nonsense at all, and that everybody makes it such a big thing that he gets a spot on Ingram with all of her millions of viewers, because I've had not arguments, but heated conversations with people who are mad that Savannah Guthrie's mother got so much attention, right? That's a whole other conversation. But it's like, why don't we talk about all the other missing kids? Because everyone's too busy talking about Kid Rock lip syncing to care about what's really happening. People being murdered and kidnapped and whatever in this country.
Exactly. And I just want to say, because we're ending this segment to go into segment 3. I know the translation of bawa de ba, de bang a bang. All it is just gibberish and a bunch of words. It's not vulgarity. It's not a weird Ebonics type of phrase that he created. It's literally just a bunch of words that he thought of in the middle of the night. He's like, I'm going to put it together and it's going to sound really cool. And bawa de ba means it's like whatever. It's like a whatever. And it was just brilliant. And I literally the story was I was 15 years old and I was standing right in front of him with my sister and my 2 family friends. And I'm literally I'm right here. And then Kid Rock's right there. And he was just jamming, and it was great. And I remember my family from Canada said to him, "So have you made it yet? When are you going to make it?" And he'd already made it. This was in the 2000s or whatever. He'd already made it. So it was great to see him go from bawa de ba to what he is today, how he has evolved so much, and what a great patriot he is, what a great conservative he is. I can tell you, he's an already genuine guy, really great guy, sincere guy, like Hulk Hogan, like the Naked Cowboy mixed into one. He just has some really great attributes, and I applaud him. I applaud him for doing this, for taking the time out to do this, because he didn't have to do this. And I hope that he comes back next year. Well, coming back after the break, we are featuring ICE versus illegal criminals. I hate to say it, that's always the topic going on around the country, but it is an important topic. And we'll be right back, guys. You stay with us. We are live right now on the America's Pulse Network. Watch us now. Rumble, YouTube, X, True Social, Parler, TikTok, Instagram. We're everywhere. You can watch us on all 5 platforms at the same time. The more you watch, the more you like and subscribe. We love it. So stay with us, guys. We have a jam-packed next half hour.
I want to say thank you, everybody, for making the comments in the chat box.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the America's Pulse Network. I just want to say for the record, the president did bring up not inviting Governor Westmore to the Governors Association dinner. A lot of it has to do with myself and this network. We have people from Maryland that are on this network. I am constantly emailing Caroline Levitt and the White House press corps about Westmore, about Maryland, about Baltimore, about what's going on. Baltimore County is now considered a sanctuary county because the Baltimore County Council decided to pass 2 horrific anti-ICE legislations. Itzi Patoka, a Jewish Democrat who his parents are Holocaust survivors, likes to compare the Holocaust to ICE agents, calls ICE agents modern day Nazi Gestapos, which isn't true. He was the front runner of these bills. What we're seeing going on nationwide at the local level, at county council meetings and central committee meetings that these damn Democrats are pushing legislation and getting it passed, pushing anti-ICE legislation. And in the state of Maryland right now, they're trying to push that ICE agents remove their masks. As we know, it's not good. ICE agents get pummeled all day and all night. They get crap thrown at them. They get mace thrown at them. They get rocks thrown at them. God knows they get punched, and they get killed or almost killed. So the fact that the ICE agents are being pummeled by illegal criminals and that the local officials are supporting the illegal criminals over ICE agents is so asinine to me. It's disgusting, really disgusting. So I want to play this first video, and I'm going to have you guys comment on it. Let's play Damon shared.
Oh, yes. Okay, well, how do you think Judgment Day will work for you with so much blood on your hands?
I'm not going to entertain that question.
Oh, okay, of course not. Do you think you're going to hell, Mr. Lyons?
I'm not going to entertain.
Of course not.
So Damon Galdo, that goes to you because you're from New Jersey. This is a representative from New Jersey, Miss McIver, who has, we know, decided to go in front of a New Jersey ICE detention center. She attacked ICE agents. She should be in jail. She shouldn't even be where she is right now. She should be in jail. What's your comment about that? I mean, she's speaking to the ICE director, Mr. Lyons, and saying, do you think you're going to go to hell? And that's considered freedom of speech at that point.
Yeah, my comment is exactly what he said. I'm not going to answer that question. I would have turned around and said, you're nuts for even asking me that question. I mean, it's a joke. I really can't believe.
But why is she allowed to ask that question? That's my comment to you.
Well, it's freedom of speech. She's passionate. She can say what she wants, but it doesn't look good on her. Do you think you're going to hell? It just makes her look stupid. I mean, what are you? Would she a nun or a priest that she's going to want him to come to?
Well, actually, the rules state, and that the clip afterwards said that the rules say that you cannot, quote, badger the witness. You can't attack the witness. You can't attack, the person. They're coming in voluntarily. They're here voluntarily. You cannot attack them. And she, of course, went against the rules. And, she feels that rules are for thee and not for me.
Well, a lot of the Democrats are like that. Just like the rules were, she didn't have to go by the rules when she, attacked the ICE agents at the ICE facility in North Jersey. So, and she was charged for it. I mean, I don't even know where that's at now. It probably was dismissed. I don't know where it stands. I
don't know if it's dismissed yet. I have to look it up. I think she has to go in front of a court soon.
She should lose her position, hands down. If she doesn't go to jail for it, I mean, anybody else, if it was you or I that went there and pushed ICE agent. Listen, not like she knocked him over the head, but it doesn't matter. You got involved. You impeded, a federal agent, and you pushed him, pushed him away, and so that's assault on a federal agent. And she should have went to jail for it. So at the very least, she should lose her position immediately. But she should have lost immediately then. But she's not going to, and that's the reason why when we talk about it. We talked about it before, and Seth has always said that nothing ever happens when it comes to congressional stuff. They brush it under the rug, they wait it out, and then they never get penalized for what they do. So I believe there's a jail in the Capitol building. I think it was made for Congress men and women, and start doing it. That might be the first one in there. So. No, I'm joking.
Well, Eleana, talking about going to the hypocrisy of this, because she's asking the guy, do you believe in hell, or do you feel like you're going to go to hell? I mean, somebody should have retorted that question back to her. Doesn't she feel she's going to go to hell for what she did?
Yeah. I think she asked the perfect question. And I think it's because she's there. She's looking for her viral moment. She got it. And the entire Democrat platform is demonic. So it takes a demon to look at somebody who's doing good in the world and protecting people and start playing Christ against them. That is exactly what she was going for. Great job. She made an absolute fool out of herself. She got the viral moment and she pleased her demons. She won.
What say you, Seth? Let us have it.
He's an idiot. Most people in Congress are idiots. Both sides of the aisle. I don't think there's any one side that can go, hey, we get the smartest people. They're about equal when it comes to stupidity and narcissism and just being an all-around douche. I think what people need to understand, like with the mask thing you were talking about, state law cannot override federal law. They can make all the rules they want to about ICE. They can't do this. They can't do that. At the end of the day, federal law enforcement can do as they please in the state. And it looks good. It makes that politician sound like, oh, you know what? I'm fighting the man. ICE can't wear masks. And I'm going to make it a law that they can't. Make all the laws you want. You can't enforce it. And anyone who tries to enforce it is going to be arrested. If a local police officer tries to arrest an ICE agent for having a mask, they're going to arrest that police officer for interfering. It's that simple. And then this moron gets on, was that Congress starts talking about going to hell, going to heaven. That guy stood up and said, shut the fuck up. I mean, really, shut up. Who are you trying to impress? The fucking ghetto people that voted for you?
Yes.
Shut up. Just be quiet. Nobody cares what you think.
Well, Seth, what bothers me is you have a governor, you have an attorney general, you have Baltimore City mayor, as we talked about before, and you have Itzi Patoka, a Jewish Democrat on the Baltimore County Council. They all are pushing back against federal law, but they're not locked up. They're not in jail. And that's what bothers me.
They'll never go to jail. Politicians won't see the inside of it. I mean, look at Kennedy. He killed a woman, left her to drown. There's no denying it. He admitted to it. The dude was a national hero. And I'm not just saying it's only Democrats that do that shit. They may do it more, and I'll give you that. But Republicans don't have clean hands either. They do some stupid stuff too, and nothing happens to them. He murdered a woman. Never denied it. Nothing happened to him. Not a damn thing. You had what? Senator Byrd was the head of the Klan in West Virginia. Nothing happened to him.
True.
Nothing happens to politicians because we're awestruck. They're gods. We put them on these pedestals because we think they can solve all the problems of our country when they're the basis of all the problems in this country. They're murderers and rapists and thieves and hustlers and pimps and frauds. They're no better than anybody else. And until we admit that and accept that, this country will keep sliding further and further down into the septic tank. They are not the answer to our problems. None of them are. And how do I know this? Trump is getting fought by his own people, trying to do good things. You've got congressmen who come out and blast them, and it looks like the people, so ICE is getting out of hand. No, they're not getting out of hand. The criminals are getting out of hand. They're just reacting to what's happening to them.
Exactly.
But they won't say that because they're gods. They're politicians. They're so much smarter than we are. They're just great people.
Well, I want to play a second video, and then I'll have Josh comment on it. Let's play the second video. Nope, that's a slide. The second video.
Now, have you directed at any point your agents under the Supreme Court's racial profiling ruling to only stop non-white people and those who look like immigrants to ask for their citizenship papers?
No, sir, I haven't.
Now, you are aware, of course, and there's numerous well-documented instances of people, American citizens, being asked to show and prove their citizenship. Do you know what other regimes in the 20th century required similar proof of citizenship?
Yes, sir.
What?
Sir, there was various nefarious regimes that did that.
Is Nazi Germany one?
Yes, but
is the Soviet Union one?
I honestly,
sir, I'm asking the questions. Is the Soviet Union one?
Yes, sir. But I totally. This is the wrong type of questioning.
I'll tell you what the wrong type of
actually,
thing
sir,
is. Sir, it's
Holocaust
my time.
Museum
Reclaiming my time, sir.
If you want to go
reclaiming my
Nazis,
time,
that's what
Mr.
it is.
Chairman.
It's not the men and women of ICE that are out there doing it every day. So to say that the men and women of ICE,
Mr. Chairman, I'm reclaiming my time. I would like my time back, please. Please give me another 15 seconds because he was unnecessarily speaking. You said in your opening statement that references to ICE as the Gestapo or the secret police encourages threats against ICE agents.
100%.
The problem is you have it backwards, sir. People are simply making valid observations about your tactics, which are un-American and outright fascist. So I have a simple suggestion. If you don't want to be called a fascist regime or secret police, then stop acting like one. But people are simply just observing what they are seeing. And that's why.
He is the perfect argument for pro-choice.
Yeah.
So this is a Jewish Democrat congressman, of course.
Daniel Goldman.
Comparing the Holocaust, of course, to ICE agents.
Wow.
Like I said before, it's disgusting. You know, Seth and I and Josh as well, and many other Jews that are on our network. I mean, we are like disgusted by this because this is not right. And they're screwing up with history, and they're screwing our young people with history. And ICE is actually is there to protect the people, especially Jews.
They're just observing.
They're
just observing with cars, SUVs, dildos, bricks. You know, they're just observing.
Yeah, you know,
I got a lot more to say.
To be offended by that, okay? Because to take the Nazis and what they did and just apply it to everything you don't like is to diminish what happened in a way that is so offensive to every human being. I had family who fought in World War II to help to free Europe and Japan, and they fought too. And you know, my family has shed blood to stop the Nazis, and I'm disgusted by that. So forgive me.
It's okay.
Let me make a couple of points here.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, we're talking about
first and foremost.
Oh wait, Damon. Let me go to Josh first, and then I'll have you comment.
First and foremost, Wes Moore is going to be the Democratic nominee, guaranteed. Put it in writing; it's going to happen. Why? Black, military experience, governor. So it's going to happen. Okay, it's not going to be Sprinkle Toes Barbie or whatever his name is, or Heels Up Headboard Harris, or any one of these others, or Pickle Pete, the sodomite from South Bend. It's not going to be any of those people, okay? It's going to be Wes Moore, 100%. That's number one. Number two, as far as what they're doing here, this is what we call judicial gnats, okay? They fly around, they buzz around, they make a lot of noise, and then they get slammed down at the higher courts. They get slammed down at the Supreme Court. It happens every single time. As a matter of fact, Gruesome Newsom just got shut down 3 days ago by a judge, and they shut down the mask order right then and there. So Seth, you are absolutely correct on that point. Now, here's the other thing. There was a huge Fifth Circuit decision that happened about 4 or 5 days ago. It was a 2-1 decision decided by a Reagan judge. And they clearly say in this decision that illegal aliens do not have due process rights, just as we all knew from the beginning, okay? So, of course, it's going to be challenged, right? And even if it is overturned, eventually it's going to go to the Supreme Court. And guess what? They're going to uphold it because illegal aliens do not have due process rights. This decision in particular is going to lead to many, many millions more being able to be accelerated and deported much faster in this country. You watch.
We already have the rules for it, right? I mean, they're just trying to slow it down. I mean, right?
That's why I call them judicial gnats.
Yeah.
Okay. Damon Galdo, 30-second response.
No, it's my response. But when you complain about checking IDs and everything else, making sure they were citizens, what are they doing in Minneapolis right now? Whether they're citizens of that city or if they're outside of that city, they're having blockades and they're pulling regular people over and they're stopping them from getting where they have to go, and they're checking their license plate and their IDs. Like, who the hell are they to do that? So it's just the hypocrisy it's unbelievable. I just can't stand it anymore. But yeah, that's what I want to say.
Yeah, Elena, 30 seconds.
No, the hypocrisy, the gaslighting. So the gaslighting of that Jewish gentleman we just heard, saying that we're fascists, just upholding the laws. The hypocrisy of the borders. Damon, you saying you can't take it anymore. You better be able to take it because we are nowhere near the end of this. This is our life now.
No, that's why I do this. Run for office. I'm just saying I can't take it anymore. That I'm being active right now. So that's
exactly. So 30 seconds to end the segment.
Everybody I don't like is a Nazi. It doesn't mean anything anymore, which is sad. I mean, Nazis were the greatest evil in the last 100 years, and we've reduced them to sniveling little children. It's not a big thing to be called a Nazi anymore, and it's horrible. And I did a show once on Nazis and police to compare them. If you're dumb, go back and watch it, because I kind of explained to you how the police are nowhere like the Nazis. Police aren't scooping up families, bringing them to like concentration camps, and then executing them. What we're doing now is they're grabbing people here illegally and sending them home. That's a huge difference. We're not killing them. We're sending them home. Nazis wouldn't do that. Nazis would kill you. We are sending people back to their place of origin. Huge difference. If you're too stupid to realize that, please don't breed and turn in your driver's license, because you're scary.
No, I agree with you 100%. So to end the segment, we have a shout out from Congressman Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey. Let's play the clip Damon shared.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun, and it's informative, and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media, just telling the story of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
Back, guys, after the break.
All right. My man, Jeff.
Oh, are we going to a break, Damon Sherrod, or we're just going to the next segment? Okay, we can go right into the next segment.
My camera's 3D.
Okay, so fourth segment, Olympics underway. So I haven't watched the Olympics in a long time. I have been watching a little bit of it this time. But again, what about the patriotism? You are going to the Olympics. You are representing your country, whether it's America, whether it's Russia, whether it's Israel, whether it's Sweden, whatever. You're going there to represent the flag that they drape over you if you win a gold, a silver, or a bronze star, or it's just beautiful to be there. The fact that there are American Olympians that are actually rejecting being an American, they don't want to be an American, but yet they are there. They were nominated by a committee to represent us in the Olympics. I find it so disgusting and so abhorrent, and I can't believe that this is happening in 2026. I never thought in my lifetime that this would happen in 2026. It's disgusting. The lack of patriotism. Where do you think this started from? Where do you think this stemmed from, Eleana?
Where does it start from? It starts with the education system in the United States is now a complete failure to all young people. We see it in all of them. They don't know civics. They don't know our history. They're not taught patriotism. They're taught this backwards victimhood type of history. And they're not taught to think for themselves or to read any books that actually are going to help them to form a solid understanding of America's place in the world and how we came to be and why we came to be. So that's where it started. Then you get the media and, they all just live in an echo chamber. And, a couple of weeks ago when Gavin Newsom was out in Davos and he was talking smack about the U.S., Stephen Smith, the commentator, did this amazing rant on it and was basically like, you do not talk outside the family. You don't go over there and trash us here. You got something to say when you're here, say it here. But you don't go over there and trash us. And that's how I felt about these Olympians who are, I have mixed emotions about representing the United States. Then take off the uniform and go home. We're paying for you. Take the uniform off, go home and sit in your mother's basement and cry about you polish your skis. I don't care what you do, but get that flag off you if you don't want to, if you're not proud of it.
And Seth, you served our nation, you served our Navy. I mean, what do you think about this? You have American Olympians. These are guys and women in their 20s and 30s, and they are honored to go there. It is an honor to go to be an Olympian, to go to the Olympics, to represent your country, to hopefully win that gold, that silver, that bronze, whatever. And they're denouncing their Americanism. Let's see about that.
Well, the last time I watched the Olympics was when that Russian wrestler Alexander Krenlin was in. Like, he'd never been beaten in 20 years. He was a beast. That was the last time I watched the Olympics. And after that, I lost interest. I served the country. My brother served the country. My daughter served the country. My son wants to go in the Navy. My father was a cop. We've all done nothing but service. And if you ask any one of us, we're going to say the same thing. While I may not agree with what you say, I will die for your right to say it. I don't agree with what he said at all. I think he's a low-life scum, and he should be ostracized when he gets back home to his community. But that's his right to say it, and I support it. I don't agree with it, never will. I don't think anybody, like you said, should take our money, go overseas to represent us, and then turn around and bite the hand that feeds them.
Correct.
But that's his right. He's allowed to do that, whether you agree with it or not. It's the First Amendment right, and the First Amendment isn't there for speech that you agree with. It's there for speech that you don't agree with. That's why it's there. I think he should be sent home. But you can't censor him. You can't say you can't talk like that anymore. You got to stop. He has every right to say that, and I have every right to call him a flaming asshole. It's just that right goes both ways.
True. Very true. Josh, what say you about it?
Yeah, I haven't really been watching much of the Olympics at all, but obviously I've heard some of these stories. But from last I checked, the Americans are not doing very well in the Olympics anyway. I think they're in like 10th place or 8th place in medals right now. I think the last I saw was Italy was number 1, Austria was number 2, Japan was number 3, China was like 14th or 15th. So maybe perhaps it's karma in that respect, because again, just like everyone has said, when you go and you represent America, you represent America. Whether you agree with policies or not, you need to keep that separate, and you need to go there and do your job. It's the same with these idiots from Hollywood, pedowood, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing with these morons in the NFL or the National Felons League, as I like to call it. Let's face it, if they couldn't pass, run, kick, block, tackle, or throw the ball, they'd all be in prison, right? But I digress. So the bottom line here is that we just need to ignore them. And when we ignore them, the ratings go down. And when the ratings go down, they get the message.
Mm-hmm. Now, Damon, I want to kind of turn something different. I want to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. So there is a Norwegian Olympian. He won a bronze medal. He went on after he won the bronze medal. He went on national, TV. He's got reporters and stuff and press. And, he's a little butthurt about his breakup. So he'd been dating this girl for 6 months, didn't say her name. And he admitted that out of the 6 months that he dated her, he cheated on her 3 out of the 6 months. Of course, he's very devastated that she broke up with him. But he's hoping that by revealing, that, what he did was wrong, that maybe she'll come back to him. Let's put up that image from the Hollywood Reporter, Damon Sharon. So Norwegian Olympian Sturla Holm Legerd is going viral for tearfully admitting to cheating on his girlfriend and asking her to give him another shot. Quote, my only path to the finish line is to tell her everything and put it all on the table and hope that she'll still love me. I've nothing to lose. Ew. And of course, his girlfriend heard this, and I won't tell you what she said, but, Damon, Galdo, turning to you, I know you're married, but kind of put yourself in this situation. Would you have done what he did? Do you think it was a little ridiculous? Do you think he just wanted his little viral moment? And, what do you think? Would you ever do this?
No, I would never cheat to begin with, number one.
Well, not cheat, but would you ever go on national TV?
I'm just going to the beginning part of it.
No, that's great. Heather, did you hear him? He's not a cheater.
So, but no, I wouldn't do this on the national TV. He won a gold medal, and so he's out there and he's trying to get his viral moment, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I cheated on my girlfriend." But he cheated, so it's like you're trying to get her back or trying to make yourself look good. No, I don't buy it. He's going to cheat on her again. So I mean, everyone's looking at it like, "Oh, that's so sweet. Is it so sweet?" He cheated on her, and then he goes on worldwide television, actually.
No, worldwide television.
Yeah, and says, "Oh, I cheated on my girlfriend. I apologize." I'm like, no, dude, shut up. That's all I'm gonna say. He's a cheater. He messed up. If she goes back to him, then it's gonna be her fault when he does it again, because he seems like he's full of himself. And that moment was all about him and his moment, not anything about his girlfriend. Mm-hmm.
Now, Eleana, as a woman, put yourself in her position. If you were the ex-girlfriend and you're listening and watching your, ex-boyfriend, reveal on worldwide television that he cheated on you, and he feels that if he cries on TV and begs for your forgiveness, that you will just take him back.
Oh, yeah. You humiliated me in front of all my friends and family. And then you decided that wasn't enough. So you want the whole world to know. Yeah. Yes, please. What are you doing for lunch tomorrow? No, we're not getting back together. Taylor Smith, ever getting back together. That's the only time.
What's a Taylor Swift song?
That's the only time I'll quote hers right now. Never, ever getting back together. Oh, God. Awful. What an egomaniac. Jeez.
What a tool. He's such a tool. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? You're making it worse, like he said.
And some sappy dumb girl will be like, "Did you see what he did?" And she'll fall in love with him, and then he'll cheat on her too.
Yeah.
And well, I'm thinking like the ex-girlfriend's probably getting a lot of pressure from other people, the mainstream media, whatever, to take him back. That's what I'm thinking. And
if she's got dumb friends, they'll be like, "Oh my god, that was so sweet." And then those are the then she needs to break up with her friends too.
Well, I can tell you for the record that she was not happy with this. They didn't reveal her name, but obviously people are going to know who she is. Like, he's like,
tell us.
What was her response?
She was like, he's an idiot, basically. Like, what a moron. Like, why would you put our personal baggage out for the world to see? And even though you didn't mention my name, people are going to look up who I was and who I am and look up where I live and God knows what. Yeah, she was not happy with it whatsoever.
How does she know? He could have been talking to 10 different girls if he didn't use the name. They're all sitting there thinking he's
going to get a ski up his ass. That's what's going to happen. Hell hath no fury than a woman scorned.
Exactly.
When I talked to you about this earlier, I said it's ridiculous. But the way I look at it now is I have enough drama in my own life. I'm not inviting somebody else's drama into mine. I don't give a shit what happens to both of them. I'll never meet them. I'll never talk to them. They're not going to pay my bills. They'll never invite me over to their house for dinner. I don't care what happens to them. That's the problem with this world. We make stupid people famous. I don't care what he did. Don't care what she does. I don't care how many people he stuck his dick in. I don't care. I don't care. Nobody should either.
He didn't even win a gold. He won a bronze.
Yeah, he won a bronze.
He embarrassed himself in the world for a bronze, not even a gold.
The best thing he did for her is she probably has a lot of dudes calling her right now. Right. So he probably lifted her up, and so it was good. It was good for her that he did it. She's probably going to be able to date whoever she wants. She'll probably date a celebrity after this.
Well, what's interesting is like they're not bringing up the person that he cheated on his girlfriend with. Like,
It was probably a dude.
Yeah, like I don't think they never bring up like the person that you cheat on with. It's just the guy and then his ex-girlfriend, but it's never the in between. You know who never got a bronze medal? Wes Moore from Maryland, who is going to be the candidate. We all have to keep that on the front and center.
That's Stolen Valor and coming up, number 2.
Stolen Valor as well. And
number 2.
Stolen Valor, these people, Corey Millstewart and Stolen Valor, all these Stolen Valor people. I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. But yeah, I mean, I just found this hilarious. This was like, not nationwide or worldwide news. Like this was a big thing at the Olympics, that the guy is, he's not focused. He couldn't get the gold medal because, he cheated on his girlfriend and all he wants is to, bring his girlfriend back. He's like, my girlfriend was the love of my life. Well, if she was the love of your life, then why did you cheat on her? It's ridiculous. It kind of reminds me of the episode of Friends with the Ross-Rachel relationship. Because, everybody knew in the end they were going to end up together if you guys watched that episode. So Ross always had a huge crush on Rachel. And, they got into a little fight. And then she's like, I want to take a break. So, and she was like, okay. He's like, okay, let's go get some ice cream. And she's like, no, a break from us. But she didn't really mean it. So the problem is that less than 24 hours, he had sex with another woman. And he would try to justify by saying, well, you told us that we were on a break. And she was like, yeah, but this is less than 24 hours and you're sticking your dick in someone else. Like, what? And I'm supposed to forgive you? Like, what the hell? And then
that was her fault.
There's back and forth between that because they said for years they were on a break, they were not on a break, they were on a break. But I don't know if you my point is, I guess if you really, really love someone and you really didn't want to break up with them, you should try to work it out with them and maybe not stick your dick in like the next girl you see at the bar less than 24 hours after the girl said we're on a break.
And everybody wonders why I'm single.
Kid-friendly show. All this.
It's what?
You guys got to clean up your language. Yeah, you're making me.
Sorry, this is an adult program.
Well, no, I just want to let you guys.
I must be on with a lot of youngsters because there's a lot of pop culture going on around here.
Sorry. I pick it up for Seth. I blame Seth for it.
I'll blame me. I get blamed.
I don't think I've ever seen Friends. Maybe once.
Never saw Friends? Friends is such a great
once
show.
or twice, by accident.
That's the show that made Jennifer Aniston and many others. Yeah. But it was a great show. But it's ridiculous. So anyway, Team USA.
I just want to say real quick. I just want to say real quick. Like I always said before, there's 2 reasons why I don't cheat on my wife, and 60% of it is out of fear, and the other 40% is out of love. So,
well, I think if you cheated on Heather, your clothes would be like in the snow or somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy wife, happy life. That's how I live.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. No, I mean, Damon Galdo's wife is beautiful, and she's a strong woman, and she can be tough too. And that's a woman I would not want to mess with. Definitely not.
I see the one.
Don't mess with her nails. Don't mess with her hair. No, she looks great. But no, Team USA is actually doing well in regards to the figure skating. I'm a big fan of figure skating, always have been. Let's put up the image for that, Damon Shroud, of the figure skating. So USA actually leads the way in figure skating. All 3 U.S. figure skating men advanced to Friday's free skate. So this guy right here, Ilya Malinin, he is like picked to win the gold. The last person, Maxim Naumo, his story is very interesting because he actually lost both of his parents in a plane accident in 2025. Very sad. His parents both died together in a plane incident, and he's been carrying a picture the whole time of the Olympics of his parents. So every time he skates for his parents. So he's an orphan, and it's very sad. But I mean, these 3 men are very talented. They remind me of the young Russian figure skaters. I mean, they look like them actually, but it's very nice to see that the figure skating has actually stepped it up. And I kind of want to, show a little bit of a clip of this young man, Mr. Ilya Malinin. They call him the Quad King. He is known for doing the quad, which is 4 cylinders up in the air. It's very difficult to do. Also, what the Olympics brought back is it's legal now to do backflips, and it's also legal now to do a backflip with 1 foot. It was illegal at one point, and they brought it back, and it's legal. So he's actually the biggest proponent of that. And like I said, they do call him the quad guy. So let's play that clip.
It's on a springboard with vertical height.
Or that's the quad. Oh, I thought there was more to that. Okay, well, that was the 4th quad. That was a very difficult routine. He did a quad with a triple loop toe loop. Very difficult routine. And then it shows later in the routine how he does the backflips. But this guy, I mean, he's going to win the gold. Team USA, he loves the country. He represents our country very well. I do applaud the figure skating because they're kicking butt. So if you're watching any of it, the figure skating is really the only thing that I watch at the Olympics if I watch any of it. Everyone's like, no.
I used to watch the Olympics religiously, and it's just slowed down as I just got busier. But then in the 2024 Olympics, when they had those demonic opening ceremonies that I found so atrociously offensive and satanic, I was like, done forever. That's it. I won't watch a minute of it. You just forced me to watch some Olympic action. I forgive you, but that's it for me.
Not to mention
I was trying to end this segment like on a high note. Sorry.
Not to mention the trans testicles that were in the 2024 election, punching the shit out of women as well. I mean, so I agree with you.
Again, well, that's what time I watched. Was that Russian wrestler? That was what, 1992 or 93? That was it. After he quit, I'm done.
I mean, there was very famous Russian Olympic skaters that I used to watch, like Eugenie Plushenko. He was a phenomenal guy, phenomenal. And I guess I just love the art of it, as a dancer, as a, professional actress. Like I just loved the art of watching ice skaters. And then living in Florida, we had Disney on Ice and ice skaters on ice. So I used to go to the St. Petersburg Times Forum, which is where the Tampa Bay Lightning play. And they would have all the professional ice skaters like Oksana Bayul, Nancy Kerrigan, and all the famous
Tanya Harding. Tanya Harding, the beer drinking, guzzling ice cream.
Yeah, Tanya Harding wasn't there that year, but
but no, it's darling now.
Well, before we wrap up, I just want to reference two movies. I forget the name of the one. It was D.B. Sweeney. He was a hockey player that became.
Oh yeah.
That was actually pretty
What
good.
was that?
I played a lot of ice hockey. It was I can't off the top of my head. I just watched it like a couple months ago again.
I'm forgetting it as well.
But it was a
Well,
good
movies. If you guys haven't watched the Melania documentary, I advise you all to do that. It has gross like, huh?
No, so I'm going to check it out. But the other movie I want to reference when you talked about the other players in the Olympics, watch the movie Miracle. That was a bunch of
Yeah.
That was motivational.
Well, one more thing, keeping with sports. I don't know if you know this, but Sam Darnold, who won the Super Bowl, he's going to pay $249,000 in California state taxes due to what's known as the jock tax for being in the state for only 8 days. His bonus for winning the Super Bowl was $178,000. That means that he's going to have a net loss of $71,000 as a Super Bowl champion in California.
Wonderful.
That has got to be Satan's playground. Period. End of story.
Yeah, that jock tax is criminal. There's absolutely no excuse for it. And so all of them, NBA, MLB, all the football players, they have to pay a hefty fine every time they play in California.
Yeah. If the game was in Florida, no income tax. I mean, would have been a whole different ball game.
No.
Hey, New Jersey, we're following up. We're following Florida's lead. That's what it looks here.
Hey, New Jersey's pretty bad. I spent my first 21 years of my life in New Jersey, and I know about the high property taxes and all that. I think my brother pays like $22,000 a year for property taxes in New Jersey. It's insane. So,
and if you want to leave, tax on the way out. You got an exit tax if you want to leave. So.
Well, guys, we only have a few minutes left. I want to pop you guys in. Seth, we'll start with you. How can we all follow you and tell us about what you've been doing and so forth?
On X, Conservative Seth, I think.
Yep.
On Facebook, it's the Conservative Corner. I've been staying out of jail, so that's very good. I've got some medical issues that are popping up, so I've kind of pulled back a little bit from podcasting for a while so I can focus on getting better. So far, it ain't working, but it's early, so we'll find out down the road. And I will say this time, my employer is being a huge schmuck, and I am real close to saying Alpha Michael Foxtrot.
Oh.
But we'll find out.
We pray for Seth every time. We pray for Seth all the time. Damon, Galdo, plug yourself in, hon.
Well, everyone that watches this show and my podcast, they know where to find me on social media. I'm on there enough. But if you go to votedamongaldo.com, you'll see my platform. I'm running for Congress in CD1, New Jersey, going up against a juggernaut in Norcross. And looks like I'm going to win the primary. But then when I go up against him, he's already got $2 million. He's the richest family in the state of New Jersey, one of the richest families in the country. So it's going to be an uphill battle. So go on my website and look at that. Click on that donate button if you can. Thank you.
Awesome. Eleana, plug yourself in.
Well, on all the usual socials, you guys can find me at The Based Mother. And I'm going to be relaunching my own podcast this week. I've been taking a few months off to regroup and coming back. So look for me on all the same spots. Rumble, YouTube, again, at The Based Mother for everything. Thanks.
Awesome. And Josh, thank you so much for being on our show. I appreciate that we got to reconnect. It's been several years. Hopefully,
it's been an absolute pleasure. An absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for letting me join you. Folks can go to jbushow.substack.com. I do a show 7 days a week. The reason I do a show 7 days a week is because the left is trying to destroy this country 7 days a week. So I don't take a day off from trying to defend it. If you join, it's only $49 for the entire year. You'll get a copy of my book, Preserving Liberty. This has been endorsed by Roger Stone, Alan Dershowitz. I know that's a weird combination. And Congressman Paul Gosar from the Freedom Caucus wrote the foreword to the book as well. If you like what's going on in Washington, my book shows you how to make it all permanent. You'll get a digital copy, which is about a $14 value for free for joining the Substack. And again, it's jbushow.substack.com.
And I do want to say for the record, so when I met Josh, I actually met Representative Paul Gosar also that same day. And if it wasn't for Josh, I never would have met him. So I thank you for that, Josh. I really do.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. We did Trump Stock together. We were both speakers. And it was a lot of fun, that event. I remember that. What was that? Is it 18 or 19? I can't remember. I think it was 18.
Yeah. No, it was 19.
It was 18. It was 19?
Yeah, October.
Because you were just starting with Jackson, right?
Yep, I was with Jackson. I'm still with Jackson today. But yeah, so Tim Fazenbaker was there too. And that's where I met him actually in Arizona at that same event 6 years ago.
I've been friends with Congressman Paul Gosar ever since. So got him to do the forward to the book. He's introduced 2 things in my book into Congress.
That's awesome.
It's been pretty cool.
Well, guys, don't forget again to watch our show. Thank you again to our viewers. Thank you again to everybody. Of course, you can follow me, Alexander Levine. I will be live tomorrow night on Alexander Levine Live from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And next couple weeks, we are going to have a special host, elected official and running for Baltimore County Councilman District Number 9, Tim Fazenbaker, will be hosting 2 episodes of The Pulse. So I'm very excited. He's very charismatic. He's been on our show, and we love him.
Great hair.
I'm
He's
sorry.
got great hair.
Yeah, he's got great hair because I fixed his hair over the years.
He's going to have great hair if he gets elected.
No, he's not going to have any gray hair. I don't allow him.
Me and Damon go to the same barber, so.
I got shaved down today.
Oh, you got a little bit. Okay, I got you. Not me.
So
It took me 2 hours to do my hair for this interview.
No, Tim's gone through different transitions of his hair. But no, he will not have gray hair or white hair. I don't allow it. And I make him keep his beard because he looks good with a beard. Sometimes he shaves it all off and I'm like, no. So he keeps the beard. But anyway.
This isn't by choice.
But it'll be fun. I always promote him. Please go to timfazenbaker.com, make a donation to him today. He's running in a very MAGA America First district. He will win this seat. This is his seat to win. Actually, rhinos and Democrats have come out in support of him. Surprisingly, and they're like, you're going to win this, dude. So, we're very positive and very confident that he will be the next new county councilman in Baltimore County. But please, guys, follow us again. We're on all the major networks. We're on Rumble. We're on True Social. We're on Parler. We're on Spotify now, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them. If I missed any, I'm so sorry. But again, guys, thank you so much. The Pulse of America, we are here because we are for God and family and for country. Take care, guys. Have a good night.
America's Pulse Network thanks you for watching tonight's episode of the Pulse Podcast. See you at the next packed episode that will take you from breaking news to informative topics. So please click on the subscribe button to get notified for upcoming episodes. If you liked what the Pulse covered, then share the Pulse Podcast with others. APN's The Pulse hosts look forward to seeing you on the next episode.